Hello everyone, Mocha Bear here. Welcome back to Mocha Bear's Hobby Den. Today we're going to be talking about some Warhammer 40k. Shall we get started? Now I know that my last video I mentioned that I'd probably be going over how to start D&D as a new DM. Well, I am planning on doing that soon, but plans changed as the day of you watching this, its release, the day before, when I'm recording this, is Saturday, November 25th, and Necrons, new codex, some new models, dice, and data cards are pre-orderable. They are up for pre-order for 2 weeks. The pre-orders went live 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, my time, so probably midnight Eastern Standard Time on the 8th into the 9th is when they will no longer be pre-orderable. I'm not 100% sure. And I'm here to help you figure out what you may want or need. But first, a little background information for you. So I got into Warhammer 40k during 8th edition. I want to say maybe 2 years at the very earliest before 9th edition got announced. So I got into the Dark Imperium box set. So I had Death Guard and Space Marines. In fact, you can partially see, like this right here. There we go. That right there is the fetid bloat drone. That came from the Dark Imperium box. And in fact, all of the Death Guard from that box set are up there, and most of them are primed. I still haven't finished painting them. I still haven't finished building or painting the Space Marines from that box set, and yet I have so many boxes of shame, is what it's referred to as, boxes of shame. But I wasn't 100% sure on what I was going to enjoy, so that's why I got that box set. Figured I'd try them out. If I didn't like them, I could always turn around and sell them on eBay or something. Well, I ended up liking them, but the main army I wanted to try was a tie between two different armies, both Xenos armies, the Necrons and the Tyranids. It was a huge conflict because I was like, ooh, Terminators or Arachnids from Starship Troopers? Which do I want? And huge debate inside my head. And one of my D&D friends, who, if you follow my gaming channel, has been a guest on there, Mystic Naz, he had a box of Necrons that he would just give to me if that was an army I was interested in. I was like, okay, sure, I'll take them. Then it's decided. I will go with Necrons. And so I went with those. And in fact, those were the first models that I built. Get some of the little cat and dog hair off of them. So this is one of those models. If we can focus here. There we go. Built it as Lichguard with the War Scythe. And then I ended up getting myself another box and built Praetorians. Those are all painted. In fact, the Necrons are the most heavily painted army I have, and I have quite a few armies for 40k and Age of Sigmar, but that's another video. I was like, okay, I need to figure out more on these Necrons. I found lore videos and all that, and I got turned on to this one channel that I was recommended, of course, by the lady from the Games Workshop store that I went to visit. And she was like, check out this guy named IDIC Beer. He's from the UK, big Necron player. He'll have a lot of information for you. So I went home that night and I checked him out. And oh my word, IDIC Beer. He goes, his channel's name is IDIC Beer 40k, Necrons and More. He changed it, I want to say like 2 years ago, because originally it was just Necrons. He's a big Necron player, and more because he was going to be talking about other things other than Necrons, heavily Tyranids. I fell in love with his channel. This is his channel right here. This is what it looks like. Link to it will be in the description box down below. I am definitely tagging him in my social media posts when this is up, so that way he knows that he was a big help and factor into me growing my Necron army. I literally have hundreds of Necrons that are in the boxes, but he was a heavy inspiration for me into building on my Necron army. I followed his magnetizing for the Annihilation Barge / Catacomb Command Barge. I actually followed that to the T and have one fully magnetized already, but I messed up on placement of magnets on one thing and put them in the wrong order because I wasn't paying attention. Luckily, I have a second one, so that one's partially magnetized. I just have to do it properly so that way it fixes itself in a way. Highly recommend checking out his videos. He has magnetizing videos for that, how to be able to use the Ghost Arc as a Doomsday Arc and vice versa, how to magnetize that. He did a magnetizing video for the new Locust Heavy Destroyers. He even did a recent update video for his magnetizing of the Ghost Arc and Doomsday Arc. Highly recommend checking that out. He's got videos on his paint scheme, how he paints his models, his own custom Dynasty paint scheme. I cannot say enough good things about this man. Highly recommend checking it out. He's got a lot of battle reports. Most of them are with a friend of his, Captain Morgan, who also has a YouTube channel. Link to him will be in the description box down below, and I'll make sure he's tagged as well, because he is a heavy orc player. So any of you fans out there of orcs, go check him out. He always brings a devastating army to the table. Always. He always gives Nick a run for his money, and it's dangerous. I am terrified anytime I see this because there's so many vehicles. But I'm rabbit trailing here. Definitely check out both of their channels. They are really cool guys. Give them love and support as you can. Just subscribe, likes, follows, all that if you can. Comment down in some of their videos saying Mocha Bear sent you. But back to the track of Necrons and the pre-orders. They went live 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the time of me recording this. And we're going to go ahead and look at the page right now. Pre-orders, the Adeptus Mechanicus and the Necrons. I'm looking at the wrong camera. Go right here. Not there. There. The Adeptus Mechanicus and the Necrons both went live for pre-orders today for 10th edition. So here you can see we've got our codex, our data sheets, the Adeptus Mechanicus codex and data sheets. I was going to pre-order the data sheets. You don't need that. I keep looking at this camera. I'm sorry. You don't need the cards. They are convenient if you are going to be playing a big game. If you're going to be playing more than 2,000 points and you're going to have a lot of different units, I would recommend getting them. You don't have to pre-order them now. They'll be available later on. The Codex, highly recommend if you are a Necron player. But if you're not a Necron player and you're looking at being a Necron player, check out, again, IDIC Beer, but also just look up some Necron battle reports, Necron lore, how they play and handle. See if that is something you're interested in. Again, the pre-orders are supposed to be live for 2 weeks. So the stuff is supposed to be available in stores and shipping out around the 9th of December. So in 2 weeks. It's $60 American. I do highly recommend getting the book. It'll have all the data sheets you'll need. If you're playing a small game, you don't need the data sheet cards. But I do highly recommend getting the Warhammer 40K app. So this side of the screen, you'll see that's the thumbnail. That's what it looks like for iOS. Again, it's free. Create your account on the Games Workshop website, then link it to that app. Because if you buy the Necron Codex, when you receive it, in the back will be a code for you to redeem the digital copy. So that way you can use the app and access your data sheets and your army's information there. All of your stratagems, all that. You can access it through the app. Highly recommend getting this Codex. Pre-order if you are a Necron player, you are going to be a Necron player. I do highly recommend it if you are thinking about being a Necron player, because if you end up getting it, not liking the Necrons, you can always turn around and sell it. It won't be for the full price, but you can still make some money off it, or maybe trade it with somebody who has a book for an army that you want. But $60 for the book, $35, again, American, for the datasheet cards. I was going to do it, but I'm just going to wait. I'll get that later on because I still haven't done a battle report, and I really recommend it only for games that are around 2,000 points or higher. Next up, the Royal Warden is now available for a solo pre-order. Originally, it was only available through box sets or a combo set since it came out in 9th edition. If you're a Necron player through 9th edition, from 9th edition, and you got any of the starter boxes or even the Indominus box set, you don't need another World Warden at all, unless you just like having more copies of it. It's not a necessity, but it's $35. $38 is the Overlord with Translocation Shroud. That I definitely am getting myself. I pre-ordered it. Again, you don't have to get it. It's most likely going to be just an Overlord with a weapon and item choice option. So you can still use any of the Overlord models you may have, or the standard 9th edition Overlord model. It's a cool looking model. Again, I pre-ordered it because it's different looking. It's definitely unique. A lot of people are saying it's not that cool because it's stuck in a pose like it's standing on a rock in combat. Yeah, I get that. But still, I think it's cool looking. It's like, I'm in the middle of battle, I'm just going to disappear and come back somewhere else. And it's like, whatever, nerd mind, okay? Pre-ordered it. I'll probably end up getting a second one later on down the road. So that way I can paint it a slightly different scheme or pattern than what my default dynasty is. Because as you saw with the Lich Guard, they have the forest green pauldrons. Almost all the models in my army have forest green pauldrons. That's my dynasty's custom dynasty's theme. Again, I went on a rant there. I'm sorry. Really cool looking model. Next up, $45. Orokin the Diviner is finally available in plastic, or is available to pre-order in plastic. I am super excited. I have been wanting an Orokin the Diviner model for a long time. I'm not a fan of fine cast, especially for models that small and thin and frail looking. I do have the Demon Prince of Nurgle, the fine cast version, of course. This I actually didn't have a problem with just because it's a big model with thick pieces. There was actually no warping on it whatsoever, thankfully. But Orokin the Diviner was a small piece. I was like, maybe one day I'll get it. Maybe it'll come out in plastic like Luminor Xeris did, in a cooler, bigger looking model in plastic. Well, that prayer got answered. He's here now. He's available for pre-order. If we're lucky, we'll actually get the model of the Catan shard that he can become, or just the Transcendent Catan by itself, so I don't have to buy the vault to get it. $45 for that. And then right next to that, Imhotep the Stormlord in plastic. Same price, $45. Super excited for that. I pre-ordered both of those characters. I am kind of sad that I didn't wait, because I did get the fine cast model of Imhotep the Stormlord. Still in the box, hasn't been opened. His staff is warped at the bottom, so I'm going to have to fix that. I want to build it and paint it, so that way I have the fine cast and the plastic next to each other on my shelf. I think it'd be cool to see what it looked like and what it looks like now. And then, of course, the important news is that we have the Necron Crusade book that's going to be coming out next year, involving the Pariah Nexus and the civil war between Imhotep the Stormlord and the Silent King. Definitely had to get Imhotep, so that way I can try that out. Hopefully we'll see some rules in there for Necron on Necron Crusade rules and whatnot. We'll see. If you are looking into getting into Necrons and you don't have any models yet, the Combat Patrol box, it's not great, but it is relatively good for starters. If you and a friend are brand new into it and you're wanting to try out some games, it's $160 US, of course, again, for this Combat Patrol box. 10 warriors, 3 Scarab Swarm bases, you get 3 Scorpec destroyers with the plasma sight, you get the Doomsday Stalker, which is that big 4-legged thing with the cannon on its top, and then you get the 9th edition Overlord model. I'd say it's a good choice for a beginner if you're going to be playing against people who are also beginning or are veteran players with beginners, like people who have experience playing with beginners to teach them. So that way they're not make sure that they don't just railroad the hell out of you. Those of us, though, who are already Necron players, have been since 9th edition or before, not really much here for us, because we have plenty of warriors already, most likely. We have plenty of Scorpec destroyers, all that. But Next up, $32 for the Necron dice. Games Workshop, it definitely got cheap on us. Originally, they used to sell faction dice packs of 20. Well, last edition, 9th edition, I want to say during 9th edition, they changed it to where it's now 16 dice, and it's 32 bucks. They're not as pretty as I was hoping, but 32 bucks, I'll bite the bullet. I'll just pre-order them. So that way I have a set. Because I have a set for the Tyranids. Actually, I now have the original set and then the newer set that came out with 10th edition. And then I have my Age of Sigmar Soulblight Gravelord dice. So I figured, just go ahead and get some Necron dice. These are my boys. My original army. Now, the Necron Codex, or the Codex Necrons Collector's Edition. Online only, as always, all the Collector's Edition codexes are available online only during the pre-orders, typically. $100! Beautiful art cover piece, or cover piece, artwork, whichever. Beautiful. That's way too expensive, in my opinion. Yeah, it would never get used. It would be put in plastic and on the shelf, never to be seen. Or never be touched. I was on the website at 1 o'clock on the dot to pre-order, and it was available still. 5 minutes later, 1:05, I finally check out, finalize everything, and I go back to look at the stuff for pre-orders. It was sold out already. Within 5 minutes, that sold out, and I think the Adeptus Mechanicus one also sold out within 5 minutes as well. My problem with Games Workshop lately, kind of like since I got heavy into Warhammer, late 8th edition, pre-9th edition, the Space Marines get so much love and attention, so much more than any other factions. Especially, namely, the Ultramarines. And those of you who are Warhammer players, and 2 weeks ago, you went to get a Christmas box set. Notice how almost everything else was sold out within hours. I got the Tyranid box set, luckily, because I started Tyranids during 9th edition. I started getting them, I want to say, during the second year of 9th edition. I was lucky. I forgot a half hour after it went up. I went in to pre-order it. Well, then the next day, it was gone. One of the other faction boxes was already sold out within 30 minutes. So that was the 11th, November 11th. From the 11th until the 24th, last night, I kept checking out the website. The Space Marine box set was still in stock. There is no way that you had the same amount of box sets for everything and the Space Marines were the only one left. There is no way. That tells me that the Space Marines had a lot more boxes available for pre-order than anything else. It's ridiculous. Granted, I love Warhammer. I enjoy the game. I enjoy the community. I'm appreciative of the product, but they are, and I understand that the Space Marines are seen as the good guys, and the Ultramarines are the poster boys of Warhammer 40k. But other factions do not get enough love. Many of the Space Marine chapters don't get enough love. The Raven Guard, for example, I started out as a Raven Guard player as well. I have some models painted Raven Guard. The models from the Leviathan box set, I'm going to be painting as Salamanders. So I'm going to be doing Raven Guard and Salamanders. The Raven Guard do not have enough love because we only have one exclusive model, and that's Caven Shrike, our chapter master. And then we have the upgrade kit. That's it. That's all we have. Every other chapter has at least 2 unique models to it. The Salamanders have at least 2 unique models to it. A captain and a chapter master. It's frustrating as a fan, but there's so much to love about it. Especially if you get into the community and you make friends, and your friends are as into the hobby as you are, if not more, then it's a community worth getting into. I highly recommend checking it out. I've said this before in a previous video as well as here. You can check out battle reports here on YouTube. There are even people that stream them on YouTube and Twitch. Some people even do battle reports on Tabletop Roleplayer. In fact, me and my friend Mystic Naz, we've done a couple games on there during 9th edition. I think it was 9th edition. It's honestly the perfect time to be getting into it because it's 10th edition just started a few months ago. There are all the new codexes are going to be coming out. So I would recommend, like I said, just downloading the app, because you can access all the armies, data sheets and their information until their new codex comes out. Because once the new codex comes out and you update the app, then all the data sheets will be locked unless you buy it or you have the book and you redeem the code from the back. If there's an army out there that interests you, download the app. You can check out all their data sheets and stuff from the app. You can look up videos on their lore, how to start building your armies. You can learn how to build, how to start a Necron army, how to start a Tyranid army, how to start Space Marine army, specific chapters, all of that. You can easily find all of that here on YouTube. There are so many communities out there on social media as well, so you can easily find a group to fall into and learn and build in. You can tell by the way I'm getting worked up here that I am very passionate about this hobby, because that's what it is. It's a hobby, a very expensive hobby. But then you all have seen Dungeons and Dragons. I've talked about that so many times on this channel. I have teased about showing you my library. I actually had someone comment, would love to see your library. Maybe I will do that. I could make that my Christmas Eve video. The tour of my my D&D bookshelf, my TTRPG bookshelf. You know what? I'll have myself some hot chocolate, sit down and sip that while I'm here with you all talking about it. But yeah, this video is telling you about how I got into the Necrons, how I started my Necron army, the inspiration for my army's growth, and then the explanation and preparing you for the Necrons for 10th edition. Only thing so far sold out is the collector's edition of the Codex. Not sure how long the Orokin, the Diviner, and Imhotep Stormlord models are going to be available for pre-order, but definitely check it out. In fact, today, time of recording this, the Christmas box sets are supposed to be preparing to ship out. That means my Tyranids box set should be arriving sometime this week, maybe, along with the new paints I needed and ordered. I have some vacation time put in for the week before Christmas, and that should actually be the week that the Necron pre-orders that I did will be arriving. I'm planning on doing some build and paint videos, some recording during that week. Maybe you'll get to see some of that on the 31st of December. We'll see what happens. All depends on scheduling and if anything's going on in my life at the time. If you have any questions, if you want any recommendations, if you have any suggestions, please post them in the comments down below. I would love to see them. I read every comment. I try to reply to, or at the very least react to, every comment. Again, you are my community. You have built this channel to what it is right now, and I am super excited and super honored and blessed to have you all here. Every click on this video is just an honor for me. Give this video a like, hit that thumb icon, that thumb button, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already. Hit the bell icon so that way you get notified when my videos go live. And again, comment down below. Tell me what you think, what you're interested in, what you're not interested in. If there's anything specific you'd like to see or have me do a video about, let me know. Fifthly, share this video. Again, thank you as always for supporting my videos, this channel, just by watching this, giving it likes. As always, please take care of yourselves. And until next time, hobby on.